Tonight on Nightline, the Nukes Next Door. American nuclear plants with missing fuel pellets, faulty generators, leaking pipes. As the crisis in Japan raises serious concerns, what is the safety record of the reactors here in the United States? We have the details.
From the global resources of ABC News, with Terry Moran, Cynthia McFadden, and Bill Weir in New York City. This is Nightline, March 29th, 2011.
Good evening, I'm Terry Moran, and we're going to begin with the revelation of a record of safety violations at America's nuclear plants. The United States is home to 104 reactors across 31 states, some of them located on fault lines. But Nuclear Regulatory Commission safety records show more than 50 safety violations at U.S. nuclear plants from 2007 through 2011. And now there's a move on Capitol Hill to block licenses for new plants. Here's Pierre Thomas with our report.
This is the Dresden nuclear power plant in Illinois, located within 50 miles of the 9 million people who live in and around Chicago. But less than 2 years ago, in 2009, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission cited Dresden for allowing unlicensed operators to work with radioactive control rods. The workers allowed 3 control rods to be moved out of the reactor core when they should not have been. Worse, when alarms went off, the workers initially ignored them. And that wasn't the only problem at Dresden. 4 years ago, in 2007, nuclear material literally went missing from the plant. Federal regulators fined the company, saying it had failed to keep complete records showing the inventory and disposal of all special nuclear material.
History tells us that some utilities cut corners, and then when the day of reckoning arrives, they won't be ready to respond in the same way that the utility executives in Japan were not ready to respond.
Today, officials from Dresden issued a statement to ABC News acknowledging the violations and saying they took them seriously. Company officials maintain neither the public or employees were at risk. But these kinds of violations may show the industry is really not prepared to deal with a catastrophic event, like a hurricane, tornado, or a massive Japan-scale earthquake. And so today, Congressman Ed Markey introduced a bill calling for a moratorium on new licenses for nuclear power plants. ABC News examined NRC safety inspections dating back to 2007 and found a litany of examples of shoddy safety work at the nation's nuclear power plants. June 2009, Edwin Hatch Nuclear Plant, Baxley, Georgia, is issued a citation after an emergency diesel generator was found inoperable after years of possible neglect. The NRC report states that unrepaired cracks in the structure had been observed since 1988. On April 19, 2010, the NRC cited the Tennessee Valley Authority for failing to provide fire protection features capable of limiting fire damage at the Browns Ferry Nuclear Plant near Chattanooga, Tennessee.
I don't think that any new licenses should be granted until all of the lessons of Fukushima are built into the new plants in the United States.
Events of the last few weeks at the Fukushima plant provide an eerie warning. Their officials ignored a series of safety infractions for years and continued to be vague about the damage to reactors even after the devastating earthquake. A document in the WikiLeaks cache revealed there were concerns about the safety of the Japanese nuclear program and that the government was covering up nuclear accidents. Case in point, the Indian Point nuclear plant just outside New York City. It's equipped with an earthquake safety device that would help keep water from leaking out of the reactor if something catastrophic happened. But the NRC found that the safety device is leaking. And believe it or not, it's been leaking for 18 years. A lack of water to cool the fuel rods has been the most critical problem at the Fukushima plant in Japan after the earthquake. Last week, a spokesman for Entergy, which owns Indian Point, said the leakage has been captured, analyzed, and determined to pose no safety issue. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission declined an ABC News request for an on-camera interview. But in recent testimony, the agency declared the nation's nuclear power plants safe and ready for catastrophic events, including earthquakes.
I'm quite confident. We've looked at all of the information that we're getting from Japan. We've looked at the design basis for the U.S. Reactors. We continue with the inspection program, and we have a high degree of confidence that the 104 currently operating reactors, there's an adequate basis to assure adequate protection.
That's a categorical statement. Some worry it's far too categorical and too rosy a picture given past history. For Nightline, I'm Pierre Thomas in Washington.
We want to tell you that the Nuclear Energy Institute says they would have appeared on camera, but our request tonight came too late for them. In a statement, they said that NRC reports to Congress in the last 5 years show no abnormal occurrences at U.S. nuclear plants. And they continued, America's reactors produce 20% of all our electricity at world-class safety levels. Thanks to Pierre Thomas for that report.